Hi guys, it's Michelle Knight from Little Miss Bookkeeping, and today I wanted to run through the reality of owning an investment property. Recently, I've seen a lot of discussion on social media platforms, Facebook groups around property, either questions from people who currently have an investment property or rental property, or people looking to purchase an investment property as part of their overall investment strategy. Now, there was a lot of discussions around costs and benefits and that sort of thing, and I suppose I wanted to share what that reality is with myself owning an investment property and seeing a lot of other millennials potentially moving into that space. Now, there was myths around landlords. They're these wealthy people who price gouge, put their prices up, and for no other reason to make a profit, and they're these bad people that shouldn't be trying to buy all these properties when there's not enough places for people to live. So that was that got me triggered a little bit, and the point of this video is to educate you guys around what the reality of owning an investment property is from a cash flow point of view. So this video isn't going to be specifically around the tax advantages, deductions, or how negative gearing works, but I am exposing myself a little bit just to show you how much it costs me on average per week to hold the property. So myself and my partner, we reside together in my partner's residence. So there's no reason for me to continue living in my place, which is just a little 2-bedroom townhouse that I purchased as my very first place. So that's been rented for a couple years now. And what I've done is I've put together a little Excel work paper. Now, I'm a very visual person, so I thought others might enjoy me going through what these costs are, and remembering that this is based on my situation. Everyone's completely different. It's based on where the property is, and we know that across Australia there's different situations, different locations, different prices, XYZ. But I thought it would kind of give a good overall overview and baseline for people who are potentially looking into property and really be ready for those costs, especially if, for example, you've never owned property before. And when you become an adult, you've got to start thinking about things like rates and body corp and water and all these other things that we do take for granted when we are adolescents. So what I'll do now is I'm currently screen recording my iPhone, and I've got here just a breakdown of the property itself. So if we just zoom in a little bit, I've put on here that it's just a 2-bedroom townhouse. I live on the Sunshine Coast, so that's where the property is located. Now, per week, I rent that at $420. So that's pretty much market value as is. Now, if we go through all the costs, I've broken them down per week based on what I paid last financial year. So I pulled up my tax return and I sort of had a quick overview of what that was last year, because it's probably going to be about the same, maybe a slight increase with inflation. So my property manager fees are about $2,000 a year. So I've done the whole self-manage and use a property manager, and for me, time benefit cost property manager, highly recommend. So that's why we've got someone looking after that. I pay about $1,000 every 6 months for my council rates. My body corp's again about $1,500 every 6 months, so $3,000 a year. I pay landlord insurance, which is just over $300 a year. And my renewal actually came today with that. Water, so in my lease, the tenant pays the water usage cost, and I pay the fixed cost, which is the cost of actually the pipes as opposed to the use of water. So that's it's kind of like a 50-50 split depending on, but I've put in there a provision for the fixed costs that I pay for, which is about $1,000 a year. And my repair and maintenance is pretty low. I mean, it's when I purchased the property, it was brand new, so there's not a lot of ongoing repairs and maintenance, but I mean, you do have to do your smoke alarm compliance and that sort of thing. So I put $200 per year. It would probably you know, go up a little bit. But so if you have a look at this this spreadsheet, you know, it costs me $420. Oh, sorry, my rental income's $420 a week. Now, out of that, if we deduct every cost that I currently pay, you know, and that's not considering any capital investment where I might have to replace, you know, a kitchen or a dishwasher or something like that, the ongoing cost of the property is about $163. So in reality, my net income is about $257. If we keep reading down, my current mortgage repayment on that is about $1,700 per month, or $418. So when we think about it, my weekly rental income of $420 just covers my average mortgage repayment of $418, not including all my ongoing costs. If we keep reading further down, this puts me in a deficit of $161 per week, or rather per year, it's about $8,000 odd a year I have to cash flow myself. So in reality, from a cash flow point of view, what I do each week is I put away a set amount into a bank account for me to cover costs. So according to the spreadsheet, I need to be putting aside $163 per week. So when my next bill comes up, when my council rate comes up, when my body corp comes up, when my insurance renewal comes up, I have that cash sitting there. Now, it's quite clear that even though I am getting $420 income, that only covers my mortgage repayment, and I've got to cash flow all those costs. So this is me, this is my situation, this is my scenario, and I really wanted to show you that so you guys understand that it's not all cash money, you know, raining from the sky over here. You might be asking, Michelle, why would you fork out $163 per week, or rather $8,000 a year, just to hold this rental property? Now, in summary, this is in line with my overall investment strategy around my tax planning, around capital gains, growth in property. So it's not something I want to go through in detail now, but just because I indeed am making and don't have the property income doesn't quite cash flow my overall doesn't quite cover the costs of my property. This, to me, I'm totally comfortable with that. To me, I have $163 extra a week to set aside another account to make ongoing payments when they fall due, knowing that the rental property situation is beneficial in regards to how it gets applied to my individual income tax, and you know, I'm banking on capital growth where one day I eventually might sell that property. So what I want to show you is if we change the rental income. Now, let's say years down the track, the costs were about the same and I could rent this property for a lot more. So let's show that situation. So let's make that, I don't know, this is going to be a pretty high jump, but let's make that $550. So as you can see, we go from only having to, I mean, let's assume, and it's probably not going to be the case, but assume everything remained relevant, everything remained the same, where really I only have to cash flow $30 a week as opposed to, you know, another 100 odd more, or rather about 1.6 a year. So let's see these figures change again. Let's pretend that Actually, do you know what I'll do? Let's bring that back down to what it is, and let's pretend that I had a significantly lower mortgage on my property. So when I purchased my property a few years ago, I had quite a high LVR. I just wanted to get into the property, so I, and I was totally comfortable with that. So let's pretend I had a slightly bigger deposit, and let's say my rental payments were half of that. So let's say, my mortgage repayments were about $200 a week. Okay. So if we have a look now, we can see that with everything remaining the same, $420 a week, I have costs of $163 a week, and my mortgage repayments were only $200. I am actually cash flow positive a whole $57. So that is my raining money cashola figure there. And per year, that's about almost $3 grand a year, which is flowing through to me, which, that's obviously the point that as an investor you want to get to. So that's really a summary or the reality of owning an investment property. So that is really a quick, short and sharp breakdown of how much it costs me to hold my investment properties, an example of where, if you had a significantly reduced mortgage, the cash flow benefit of that would be. I haven't run through, a tax deductibility, tax planning, tax advantage point of view on this, or the application of how this affects what is negative gearing and how it all works. But I hope this was helpful. If you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and give it a like down below. It really does help me to provide more valuable content to you. As always, if you have any specific questions around you and your scenario, please do speak to a trusted tax professional to get the right advice. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.